Hi, everybody. So I see Karen and Mary J, and this is the Big Cat Briefing. If you go to bigcatrescue.org/news, we log all of the news there, thanks to Paula for finding the news and putting it online for us. And one of the first things that I saw for today's report was something called The Daily, and I was like, well, why is this on here? Because there's not a cat picture. And when I read it, it was because of the iHeartRadio. I do my daily... There's a lot of pressure here. It's live. I record my diary daily and release a new episode every day on my YouTube channel, youtube.com/Carole Baskin. And I just recently submitted that to iHeartRadio. And so apparently it got picked up in the news, which was kind of cool. So it's on here. If you go to bigcatrescue.org/news, it says Carole Baskin's Diary. And when you click on it, it takes you right to the iHeartRadio. But it's the same episodes that are being released on Podbean and Apple and YouTube. Mountain lion removed from under a deck in Inglewood, that's in Colorado, is one of the stories here. And on each of these stories, you just click on the picture or the link and it will take you right to the whole story. There's a really cool picture of a bobcat carrying something in his or her mouth, and the caption says, "Help us figure out what this bobcat is having for breakfast." But to me it looks like a mother bobcat carrying a baby bobcat, so I'm not sure that that's breakfast, but I haven't read the article yet, so maybe. Another one, leopard breaks into school canteen after fighting over territory with rival. Not a good place to go hide. Not a very good idea at all. Georgia pet owner must surrender exotic African cat that escaped and entered the neighbor's home, according to this report. So we have been following up on that because we were concerned that it might go to some god-awful place, which usually happens when law enforcement gets involved. They don't know the difference between a real sanctuary and a pseudo-sanctuary, but they are insisting that we are going to like this and that it's going to a place that we would approve of. So I'm hoping that it's going to an accredited facility. And I've also had other people tell me that the owner was pretty upset about this, and so that's why they're kind of obscuring where this cat's going, because they don't want any retribution from the owner, who had the cat apparently illegally, because it's not legal to have these cats in Georgia. Researchers hope to learn more about urban bobcats. Yeah, they're amazing neighbors. Terrible pets, but amazing neighbors. I also have a coordinator report. This one is from Lauren Grant from 22 hours ago, who says, "It was a hot one today. Afton started the day with AM meds and supplements. We had lots of volunteers come in to help with cleaning and feeding today. Emma, Taylor, Ryan, Riley, and Lisa fed the little cats. Beth Ann, Bridget, Fred, and Nisha fed the big cats. Lisa, Catherine H., Ryan, and Megan R. cleaned the little cats. Fred, Taylor, Beth Ann, and Bridget took care of cleaning the big cats. During cleaning, Jenny had a private tour and then was able to get some reading time done with Amanda before moving to letters. Yeah, the private tour, their favorite cat is Smalls. I got to talk to them. Riley and Emma finished cleaning the rat room and then moved on to food prep. Diana joined them for food prep. Jordan, Nisha, and I started raking the old tour waiting area, memorial area, and we were joined by Emma and Riley before lunch. It's funcation, finally swamp-free. It's not swamp-free because there is a corner of it that stays pretty wet, but there's plenty of high spaces now until it started raining. And all of that water, I mean, we had like shin-deep water all over the place. And the cats' areas have higher areas where they could get out of the water, but the keepers were all in the water. And by 48 hours later, it was back down to like you couldn't tell we had ever had a hurricane. And I'm sorry, I just missed that last one that popped up because I was talking. And once it pops up and goes away, I don't see it, so I'm not sure I'm going to be able to find it. Dylan joined the interns, Bridget and me, to finish rake up and clean up of the Be the Cat cage. Everyone had a chance to do some enrichment or operant conditioning, including lots of sign-offs getting done. Dylan and Bridget did PM supplements while Afton took care of PM meds. Thank you for everyone for the hard work today. It was a great day. And I'm going to be going live with Iriz May on her Instagram channel. We're going to be talking about the making of Disco Gurl. If you haven't seen it, look up Disco Gurl, Gurl, and Iriz May is the performer. Yeah, Karen, it's raining again. And we're going to be talking about that today on Instagram. on her Instagram channel. So if you go to Instagram and look for Iriz May, she's a performer, a singer, and we did a music video together that was so much fun. I hope Perfection isn't swimming around her enclosure. No, she has lots of space that she can get up out of the water. And I don't know if you guys know, but we recently opened up all of Breezy Bobcat's cage to Perfection as well. So she's got like twice as much space as she ever had before, which was a lot of space already. And then at 6 o'clock, if you are on Clubhouse, we have our own room on Clubhouse called Big Cats. So if you join Clubhouse, it's an app for your phone if you don't know what I'm talking about. Every Saturday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I go on there with Luana and Deb and Karen and lots of people who are helpful on our social sites. And then the public is invited in as well to come and talk big cats. And so I don't know what the topic will be tonight. Sometimes we try to come up with yeah, Deb's like, Clubhouse, 6 p.m. tonight. Deb usually tries to come up with a topic ahead of time because she's such a planner. I am not. I'm just like, I show up and hey, we'll talk about whatever we talk about. So if you guys have any ideas for what we should talk about, let me know, because it would be much better if we could actually plan something and invite people that way. So on Clubhouse, if you just look for the rooms called Big Cat, you'll find us. And I hope to see you there. Meanwhile, I hope you'll join us on all of our social channels. We are Big Cat Rescue everywhere you could possibly think of. And you will find videos and photos and all kinds of cat stuff to just warm your little cat-loving heart. Stay cool, cats. Mwah! All right, now let me see if I can see all messages. Well, that's a setting. Yay, says M. And well, I hope, yeah, I got that one. I'm seeing them here. Oh, Mary J, that's so sweet of you to say. And hello, Maria Stevens. Thank you, Linda. That's very sweet. Hi, Lori and Linda and Wendy and Victoria and Pauline and Elizabeth, Karen, Mary J. So thank you, everybody, for joining us. I'm trying this because we have just seen such a decline in so many of our different social channels. And I was asking Luana and Deb whether they felt like, and the rest of our staff that are involved in that, whether they think that this is because people are going to some other platform that we're not on, like we're on TikTok, we're on Snapchat, but it's hard for me to imagine that the reduction that we're seeing in mostly Facebook and YouTube are just because of those channels. So one of the things that Luana suggested is doing some things live. So if this makes more sense to do it live, yeah, M says the algorithm does that sometimes. Thank you for everything you do, especially for her cat Jinxie. That would be Jinx, the black leopard that Wendy is talking about. And M says, is Big Cat Rescue on Twitch? I don't know if Big Cat Rescue is, but I think I am. So you can find Carole Baskin on Twitch, and you will find nothing that I have done. So I really don't understand why people watch other people play games, and I don't know how we can do something on Twitch that would be interesting to people unless it's just doing live stuff like this. I don't know. But given the fact that there's only 15 people here, and we've had this daily Big Cat site since, gosh, years, and it's only built up to this many people, it's hard to imagine starting a new channel. And Victoria says, Facebook stopped notification for lives. Yeah, I expect that that's probably a big part of it, is that they're just not notifying the people. And we've heard that for years, that people want to come and see our stuff, and they never know when we're live. And so then they end up catching it after the fact, and it's not as much fun, apparently, except for when it's live. So I got to get off of here because I got to meet with Iris on Instagram in 6 minutes, and I'm kind of stupid about these social sites. Despite the fact that our team is really great about this, I'm not so good at doing this, and I got to figure out how to get on her social, on her. That explains it all. How to get on Iriz May's Instagram account.
Hi guys. So this is really exciting. I'm going to be doing a live my girl, Carole. I just logged on. We decided to move it to... Hi, Carole. I'm going to request you really quick. Let's see if we can get on, okay? Hold on, how do I... Review... There we go.
I love your sparkles.
Thank you. There's my Disco Girl. How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm doing good.
You're looking fantastic.
Thank you. Oh, I sucked in and tucked in for you today. Got a little cute little corset going on. So just so you guys know, people who are logging on, we decided to do a live today to show you guys that we wanted to tell you about our new single, Disco Gurl. And Carole, you can sing the house down boots. Like, you can sing, girl.
You're funny.
You can. I think it's great. So I have a couple questions, and then I'm going to get some questions from a ton of our awesome fans, and we're just going to start, okay?
Sounds good.
Awesome. Okay, so I have one. It was, how was making a Disco Gurl?
Are you asking me or am I asking you?
I'm going to ask you, but I guess we can both kind of go off each other, but like we want to hear maybe you a little more because I feel like I talk way too much.
Well, I think it's really interesting to hear how you started it because my first exposure to it, you had already sang it. It already sounded fantastic, and you just said, "Hey, do you want to be involved?" So I'm curious what brought you to that point.
So, fun fact, the song was originally called Dangerous, and it had a totally different feel. There was no tiger sound to it, and I put it in the Iriz Hub. We wrote this in October, and then I went to my producer, and I was like, I love this song, but I just don't feel it yet, right? So then that was October, and then I ended up going back to him around December, and all I heard was like a tiger roar. Like, I just heard it in my head. Like, I think I had a dream about it. I'm convinced, because I just heard a roar, and then you hear the violins in the beginning where it goes da 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 da, right? And I don't know. I just got this really cool retro kind of like 70s Queen, vibe, and I don't know why, but all of a sudden I thought of you. I was like, Carole Baskin would be awesome in this song. And then I hit you up, and then I think I messaged you in December, and then I think I didn't hear anything, and then come March, I commented on a couple of your stuff, and then I was like, I'm going to message her on her comments and say I messaged you, and then you were so cool, and you responded back, and then I sent you the song and told me what you think, and you were all for it, and it's just an awesome, cool opportunity.
I had no idea that you had tried to reach out to me before the time that we actually connected.
I was a little nervous because I was like, oh, this is such a stretch. Like, I'm like, oh, like, little old me, like, would be like asking this like awesome, Queen of Tigers, like, to be like, hey, would you want to like totally feature on my song? And I just think it's really cool that you said yes. And then it made me even better. And I thought it was even cool that I wrote your part too. That's kind of something fun that people don't know. That I wrote your part too, which I thought was really cool. But okay, next question.
Well, wait, before you go there, when you reached out to me, I was filming with a film crew for a show that we hope to have coming up as a series. And I was meeting them at the hotel next door with a golf cart to pick them up with my husband because they were going to just come over to the golf cart and we were going to take them over to the sanctuary. And so while we were sitting there waiting, that's when I got your text with the song. And so I played it sitting on the golf cart, and my husband looks over at me and he's like, what is that? And I said, it's this amazing song. I'm like, isn't this catchy? I just love this song. And so I kept playing it over and over until they came out because I just loved it from the very beginning before I knew anything about you or it or anything.
That's awesome. It's crazy where you hear songs that you send to artists or anybody, and it's funny where you hear them because, like, you were in a golf cart, I was, like, at dinner, like, thinking of a war. Like, it's funny how people think of the craziest things and opportunities that happen, but, like, in the moment, they're at the most random spots when it happens. Okay, so I have a question for Big Cats, actually, because I thought this would be a really fun question. What are, like, the big next opportunities for Big Cats, like, in the future? Like, what's your big next project that you guys are doing?
Well, that show will probably be the biggest thing. There's already a show that has been done and aired in the UK called Shooting Joe Exotic that exposes the fact that he had been trying to kill me since back in 2011. And so that's aired over there, but they're trying to air it here in the US, and that should happen shortly, so that'll be good when that comes out. And then what we're really excited about is the whole future of saving big cats and doing that through NFTs and coins and trying to get people to adopt the idea of seeing these cats on 360 cameras instead of in person or zoos. And so that's where I'm putting most of my attention after we get the federal bill passed.
Okay, that's great. Okay, next question. How was the writing process and vocal takes with your version? I personally wrote that one because I thought, okay, let's talk about how I got you to like record it like 100 times. Because that's the life of a musician. We come off very annoying and we're like, yeah, you got to do it 100 more times, girl.
Well, you had sent it to me and said what you had in mind was the idea of walking a tiger into a nightclub and that tiger breaking the chain and breaking free. And I really love the idea of a tiger breaking free. I hate the idea of a cat on a leash or cats in captivity. And so that was a big part of why I liked the song is it gives you that understanding that they're just too powerful and they're not meant to be tamed and that they're wild and should be free.
Right.
And you told me that you had a relative who was going to be able to do this in CGI because, if you might recall, I was concerned.
My brother, yeah.
I sure didn't want to be in anything where they were going to use a live tiger, and so you were like, oh, no.
No, and that was the thing, actually. It's interesting because I'm like, well, should I do a CGI tiger, or should I make this more like, kind of like a 70s, kind of 80s cartoon tiger? Where it's a little more exotic and a little more, I don't even know, like euphoric, I guess that's a good word. So, and that's what we came in, we actually had like 5 tigers. Interesting fact, I didn't tell you this, but we had like 5 drawings of tigers that we had to choose. And I just thought the one that we chose was just like friendly. And I was like, you know what, we need to make this cute. We can't make this like look mean or like, bad to the eye, and I wanted to make it look good for, of course, your organization and for like us in general. So, okay, another question. We kind of answered that. What made you think of Carole to be in the song? Okay, this is a good one. Will the song be in any big things in the near future? So, for me, I can respond with it's playing at a lot of gay bars in Chicago. It's funny, one of our really well-known bars called Splash opened, and I didn't know this. Actually, I walked in and I knew the DJ, and I had our song in a little file, and I was like, here, girl, like, I got a good song for you, play it. And so I was like, I don't know, they may not play it, I don't know yet. And I'm like just sitting, walking, like, oh, she'll play it maybe not tomorrow or whatever. And then the song started playing, and then I find out literally that Splash opened after the pandemic, so like it was closed for 2 years. And I'm like, what a great way to like start, Splash and hearing our song. Like, what a great way to start that way of getting Disco Gurl out. But it's playing at a ton of bars in Chicago. It's playing at a couple cool thrift shops in Chicago because I have a couple of friends that work at local thrift shops. But how about you? Like, are you getting it out anywhere or?
We shared it when you first gave it to us to our social channels, and that's the only place that we've shared it. I had talked to you a little bit about, I was working with a NFT creator, Sweet.io, and they had wanted to do audio files of the cats as being a special unlockable that you could get. And so I had asked them whether there would be a way if they do that, would they be able to then take a portion of the NFT sales and direct it to you, because those things are all done automatically with a smart contract. And I haven't heard from them. So I sent them an email last week saying, hey, it's been like a month and I haven't heard from you guys. I thought you were...
Yeah, I remember that conversation.
So I'm still waiting to hear back from them. Well, I don't know if the whole NFT thing is over now or what. But I think that would be a cool way for people to get it.
Well, hey, you hear it from me. If they ever want it for one of your shows or anything, you hear it from me, you can give it to them. You can give it to them for your docus or whatever you want. From me personally.
Well, thank you.
Okay, here's a good one. How is filming Tiger King? I knew that was going to be a question. And are we getting another one?
You know, when I was working on that, I worked for 5 years with the producers of Tiger King, and they said what they were working on was a blackfish for big cats, which was, for people that don't know, it was the program that they did about the killer whales at SeaWorld, and that's why people quit going to SeaWorld, because they saw how cruel it was to keep them in cages or aquariums. And so this was what that was supposed to be for 5 years. And then we saw the trailers come out for it, and it was about Joe Exotic, which they said was going to be, you know, just a tiny portion of it. And it was called Tiger King. It wasn't the name they told us, which was Stolen Wildlife. And so we sat down and watched it just like everybody else did, because we couldn't believe that was what they had come up with after 5 years of doing really important investigative work about the abuse of these cats. And we set them up with all of the people that are conservationists in the field that could tell them why none of these cats should be bred in cages and all of that. And instead they just made it like this freak show of a reality show. So, and called it a documentary, which is even worse. So we told them when they called us again and they were trying to get other people under contract for a season 2, I told them just to lose my number, because, I mean, they were they betrayed us so badly.
I hate Hollywood. Sometimes Hollywood is not what we think it is. Wait, I just kind of thought of one really quick. Was it cool seeing yourself on, like, TV for the first time? You were like, that's cool.
Oh, it wasn't for the first time. I'd been on Animal Planet and Discovery
true.
and History Channel.
I guess Netflix, like, that's like it's a big one. But, okay, this is a good one. What made you excited about working with me and Disco Gurl?
I loved the song. I mean, you hooked me from the very beginning. If you had said, hey, do you want to work on this song, and hadn't shared the song with me, I would have been like, I can't sing. No, I'm not going to embarrass myself in that way. And so by you sending me the song, I was like, I love this. I want to be a part of this.
Oh my God, that makes me so happy. Oh my God. Okay. We answered. I guess there's one that says, what are some future goals for Big Cat Rescue? And I'm seeing people in the comments saying, and I was watching your interview yesterday about getting this bill passed. So do you want to explain that more?
The federal bill bans the cub petting. So for everybody who watched Tiger King, all of those people that were acting so horrid with wild animals do it because people will stupidly pay to have their picture made with a cub. And they do it because they love cubs and they think that this is cute and they want to help conservation, which is what these people that pimp them out say. And It's all a lie. Any cat that's born in a cage, any big cat born in a cage, is doomed to live the rest of its life in a cage. It's not legal to release them. They don't serve any kind of conservation value. So we have a federal bill that we've been pushing for since 1998 that will ban the cub petting. And it will limit the breeding to just the accredited zoos that actually do have a species survival plan. It won't be able to be something that people can do just crazy, for cub petting. And then it phases out the private owners. So people who have them can keep them. It's not going to take away anybody's pet tiger, but they can't buy or breed more.
Right. Okay. That's crazy. Well, I hope I pray that this gets passed.
I think it will. We thought for sure it was going to pass last year, and then we had COVID and Tiger King and the election and all of the craziness that happened leading up to taking over the Capitol. And so it was just nuts. Right. And we got it through the House with a 2/3 vote, which is better than it's ever done before, but it didn't make it through the Senate in time. So we had to start all over again, which you have to do every 2 years.
Yeah. Okay. So, two more questions. So, are you traveling anytime soon for any gigs?
Me or you?
I guess it says gigs, but I guess that means any Big Cat Rescue stuff, anything.
I think you're the queen of gigs. I don't do gigs.
Yeah, I know. I was like, gigs. I'm like, what? Well, I guess anything for Big Cat Rescue. Are you traveling? Because I know you just went somewhere for a fundraiser. So I guess you're doing any other fundraisers.
Yeah, I've never done a fundraiser for another sanctuary before, but this guy's been working for 8 years to actually build a sanctuary and do it right. And so we went to it was in North Carolina, so we went to his fundraiser to help him get people to come. And he did really well. He raised, I think, over $78,000. And then the very next week, we went to D.C. for the launch of The Conservation Game, which is another film we had been working on for the same 5-year period that we were working on Tiger King. But The Conservation Game actually did what it set out to do, which was to show people how it is that this whole tiger crisis happened in America and why it is that people even have these cats. And so there was a big red carpet premiere there in D.C. that we were invited to be at. But as far as stuff coming up, I don't have anything on my plans right now.
I saw your picture where you were like with your hair and you were in your car. She had her deep.
Oh, that one. It was like, it's flying.
Yeah. You know I love hair. You know I do hair on the side. So I was like, ooh, she's like feeling herself with her hair right now.
I'm loving your streaks.
Yeah, mine's like 90s streaks, like very retro, very like it's a vibe. Okay, so those are kind of all the questions we have. We could get some questions real quick. I mean, this was like a very fast one. I thought this would, let's see. Let's look if there's any questions.
Well, I have a question for you. So how long have you been performing?
Oh my God. So fun fact, I wrote my first song when I was like 14. So
wow.
I guess I've been doing, yeah. And it was in the back of a car. And fun fact, I think you knew about this, but I went to boarding school when I was really young. And I was in the back of a car and I was with my friend and we had our uniforms on and we were going to school. And I pulled my friend aside and it was the first song I wrote. And it's called, I still remember it. It's called My 80s Baby. I don't know. I just did it. And he was like, this is a really good song. Like, you should pursue this. And then ever since then, when I would be doing shows in, like, on stage in, like, high school or whatever, I'd be writing songs. I'd be playing piano and just writing because it's just kind of like my getaway. And, I mean, I've been singing since I was, like, pretty much a baby. So, but that was kind of like the first time I really wrote a song. And
do you write your own music as well, or how do you set that to music?
I do. So, actually, this is interesting. I write my own music. I write my own lyrics, 100%. But since I was like a senior in high school at the time, and then I dipped into college, I went to Columbia College in Chicago, which was like a very well-known like art school, and I met so many cool people and producers. That's when I like knew, okay, I have a craft, like I need to take advantage of this. So that was when I went to a couple label, like indie underground guys that were like in their basement making like little hits. And I was like, cool. And so I was like, I'm going to write a song and be something. And Carole, I mean, I've gotten dropped. I've gotten dropped like 5 times. Like, they're like, you're good, but you could be better. And I'm like, because I think they just didn't take me seriously. And I think that's the one thing when I was writing Disco Gurl and I thought of you. This is kind of goes, it's perfect because it relates, is I hate when people don't take me seriously because we work really hard. You know, we work very hard. We work very hard. I've been writing music since I was 14. You know, I just want to be taken seriously. And I just had these producer men that would just look at me and be like, nah. I think they just thought I was like kind of a joke. And I was like, but I'm not. Like, I can write a song. And so I was signed to a couple of labels, and then I was dropped, and now I have one that I love. And my producer made Disco Gurl, and I was like, yes, we have it. And it's even, but I'm just blessed that you like it. I think that's so cool that I was like, perfect. No one, if she likes it, I don't care what anybody else thinks. Like, as long as the other artist likes it, it should not matter what other people think. But.
And what does your label do for you? I mean, do they advertise it? Do they take it around the stations? How do they work?
So, yes and no. So actually, I'm like their first pop artist. They're really more known for like indie kind of like, I guess like indie bands, like rock, alternative. And I was their first pop that came in because I knew my producer because my roommate, who I think you met at one point, she does his hair. And then I met him in the salon world, everybody knows each other. And then I met him and I was like, wait, you're like a really good producer. And then I hung out with him, and then we like were just playing around, and we made Disco Gurl, and that's kind of how it started. But yes and no. I think it's just like what I'm noticing through the music business is it's smaller than you think. Like, I feel like, at least in Chicago, the person who I meet that would lead me to other opportunities, they like know someone that I know. It's just weird how life works. Like, is that with you? Do you ever notice that with like?
Well, the big cat community is pretty small.
Exactly, but it's true. Like, we all think this world is huge, and I'm just thinking like, not really. Like, there's a lot of people that you know who connect. You know, I would think that would probably be with like the big cat rescue, like the cat community as well. But,
Yeah.
but I guess I have one question for you. Who is the best?
You're the best.
Oh, I have that on video now. Thank you. Who is like, I guess, the best, I want to say artist, but like animal activist as you are, that you've worked with, that you were like, wow, I would work with them again because they really helped me.
There are so many in that field, but I think right now that would be Brittany Pete from PETA. She is the bomb. She was in Tiger King, and they gave her about 5 minutes, and she should have gotten about 5 hours because she knows all of the bad guys and all of the bad things they do, and she is just all over putting an end to it. And I think she's so brave because most of the other organizations that work against animal abuse do it as organizations. Individuals don't
Right.
put their names or faces out there to take the heat like I do.
Right.
But Brittany does. And I really admire her for that.
You know, I give you a lot of props, girl. I give you a lot because that must have been really hard. And it's funny when people ask me when I work with you, they're like, well, why? And I'm like, because you know why? That girl's been through hell. Like, and when I talk to her, we have FaceTimed for hours, my friends. We've been talking since like April. We had to keep this a huge secret, and now it's out, you know. I just felt like, you know what? This girl's like a boss bitch. Sorry, like she's boss. And I just think she doesn't play around. And I honestly put my feet in yours. And I was like, could you imagine if, how terrible of what happened? And then the whole world thinking you did that when you know you did it. That's terrible. Terrible. So that's why I was like, you know what? I gotta work with this chick. And prove to the world that like, and even the song is so, I think, iconic. Because it's so like, hate me, say what you want. But a disco girl loves to talk. Like, we will keep going. Because it's true, like, shut your mouth, lock your lips, and follow me in the graves. Because haters will always hate. And that's what I say. When you have haters, that means you're going somewhere. That's what I always say. Because I'm like, that means you have a fan following. Because at least someone's talking. And then the people who actually value you and, you know, love you and support you, that's when you know you have something in the works for you.
The signature line in my email says, "Judge me by the enemies I have made." And it was a Franklin Roosevelt quote. And I live by that because if the really bad people in the world hate me, then I think I'm on the right path.
You know what? I just thought if I ever write another song and we do something, who knows? You never know, guys. We should put that in. I'm serious. Like, it could be the pre-chorus. It would be awesome. And we could, like, we could give it, like, a bouncy beat. Ooh, that would be fun. How's Florida doing?
It's been wet.
I saw.
Oh, man, it's been wet.
There was, like, a terrible hurricane recently. I saw.
And right before coming on here, it was raining.
How do the animals, like, that's scary. Because you gave us a little, like, video.
Yeah, we do the videos so that people aren't too afraid. You know, they hear there's a hurricane coming and all they can picture are a bunch of cats running loose or drowning or something. And so I wanted them to see, you know, it's bad, but at least everybody's got a place where they can get dry if they want to. So that's why we do the videos that we do during the hurricanes. And every time we have a hurricane, we're out there videotaping in the middle of it so that everybody around the world who loves us can make sure that their cats are doing okay.
I know. Oh my God. That's great. Okay, there's one question from here, and then it's 3:23, so that means it's 4:30 there. We're doing good on time.
You have a question here. Who is Iriz May? The one on top, that's Iriz May.
Yes. 10, I think that's what it says. 10 Baker tell Carole I love her.
Aww.
Okay. They love you. Hold on. Let me see if there's any questions in the comments that I can ask.
I love that name, Nirvana. We used to have an ocelot named Nirvana.
Oh, wait, where? Is it the most recent
There's
one?
a in Nirvana. Listen to Disco Gurl on all platforms.
Disco Gurl, all platforms. Yes! You better work, girl. Yes. Oh my God. That was a fun one. That was a fun song. It was really cool seeing them put you in, actually. That's something I could totally talk about because, so fun fact, my brother is a really big CGI cinematographer person out in LA, and he works on a couple of my other music videos. When I'm done filming with my crew in Chicago or anywhere else, we then, are you adding sparkles? As you should. What was I going to say? We send it to him in LA, and then he just makes it better. And it was really cool seeing you being edited in.
And that was quite a process because Iriz kept sending this to me, and the other person that works with you was like, could you do it again? Could you do it again? Could you do it again?
I know. Filming's really hard. I'm telling you. It's tough because I know. Liz is awesome. Shout out to Liz Johnson for helping that work because, oy cavalt. A lot of people are just saying, pass the bill.
Thank you.
Get the bill passed this year.
And the way people can help us do that is go to bigcatact.com, and they can either send an email or a tweet or make a call to Congress, and we give you a little script there, so it's really easy. And if you do it on the weekend, they're closed, so you're just going to talk to an answering machine. It's not scary.
Yeah. It's just a lot of love. There's not a lot. I'm shocked. I would have thought there'd be more. It's just we love you, Disco Gurl, Team Carole.
Sad Sahara, love you too.
Ask some questions. Okay, here's one, I guess. From Miss Months, I don't know. What's the relationship between you two, coworker, friend, fellow cat lovers?
Pretty much all of the above.
Yeah. I don't really know.
I think everybody comes into each other's life on purpose, and even the bad people that come into our lives, I think they come into our lives to teach us lessons. And, sometimes the lesson is don't be like that guy. But I think every encounter is something that's meant to make the world a better place, and I think that's why you and I came together.
Yeah. Wait, so you guys are opening, you guys aren't, or you are opening back up? Because I know pandemic stuff.
Yeah, we closed down on March the 15th due to COVID, and that's costing us over $1 million a year in tour revenue. Yeah, we have to raise between $3.5 and $4 million a year to do the stuff that we do here at the sanctuary. So that's a quarter of our income gone. And we've thought about opening back up, but the problem is there hadn't been any kind of a vaccination for the cats, and now there finally is, but our vet is concerned that 75% of our cats are already over what would be a 90-year-old person in cat years, and so he's afraid to vaccinate them twice in a row with this really horrible COVID.
Right.
So we're best thing to do is just keep the door shut.
Yeah. Did you hear? I remember hearing this, and actually now I feel like I could ask you this. It was the beginning of COVID, and then they were the first case a tiger had it. Do you remember that?
I do. It freaked me out because we didn't know it was something that they could get.
That's what I was animals can't get this, no way. And then I just think it's very ironic that a tiger got it. I was what? Learn more about big cat rescues. Okay. Let's do few more questions. Just so you know, if you guys are logging on, we're here with my girl Carole. We're talking about Disco Gurl, our single, and how the music video and how our song went down. And we're also talking about Big Cat Rescues and how we can help pass this bill. Pass the bill. Do you want to one more time tell them how they can pass the bill?
Go to bigcatact.com. We make it really easy to make a phone call, send an email, or a tweet, or do all three, which would be great. And you guys might be seeing Deb Quimby here in the chat. She's the person who manages our social sites for me and a lot of my personal sites for me, thankfully. And so she is the person to get. If you want to be sure and get a hold of me, go through Deb and she'll make sure that I see whatever it is you're trying to get me. Because apparently Iriz was reaching out to me for months and I didn't know about it. So I need a keeper, and that's Deb.
You're fine. Oh my God. It's, Instagram, it's like a hit or miss. You either see, I have so many people that reach out to me and I'm like, oh wait, I forgot, I have to check my request ones. And then it's like, but that's all. Do you guys have any more questions? We're going to take like 3 more.
Oh, I see Dawn's here
more?
too. Dawn's another Big Cat Rescue person.
Oh, hi. Let's see if they have any questions. Ooh, Disco Gurl. I'll have to look it up. That's a cute one. If you see any.
I don't know how this works. Is it possible for you to put a link to the video in this, or?
It's funny. I'm just as new as you are to this as well. So I might post this after and then add the link in so they can swipe up, I think. But I saw you posted it on TikTok. I know. I don't know how you. There might be a way. I don't know. I guess you can pin it. Oh, okay. How do you pin it? Someone's saying you can pin it. Well, it's Disco Gurl. Check it out, guys. Yeah.
Looks like you have 4,967 views on YouTube, but I know you have it on a lot of other channels as well.
Yes. It's funny. It keeps going up. Give us your little dance move. Wait, you gotta sing your part. Show the world.
There it is right there. Oh, maybe we can turn this around.
Yeah, let's see.
There you go.
Oh my God, that's hilarious.
Oh.
Who is she? That was such a fun song. I want to write more with you. That would be fun. We should write a song about a lion next. Because it was this was very tiger-esque,
I've written poetry in the past, but I've never had any talent for understanding how lyrics are created for a song. I think you almost have to have I don't know. I mean, tell me, do you have that music in your head before you come up with those words, or do you have the words first and then they bring into your mind the music part?
I think I'm just it's weird. I'll go to bed and then I'll have a dream and I'll hear a melody or a sound or something, and I just wake up and I go to my phone, my voice recorder, and I'm la 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 la, and then or whatever. And then I'll just hear that, and then it will start with lyrics I never thought that it would be over. And that's how it starts a song. Or, this is kind of cool. So, fun fact, I do hair, guys, kind of on the side. And whenever I'm doing one of my clients, they'll say something oh my God, she did that. And then I'll be that's a great lyric. That's a great way to start a song. Yeah. Someone will say something really random, or I'll hear it on the street, oh my God, who does that? But that's a great start to a song. I was a really big freak when it came to writing in school, and I was nothing is more sexier and fun to me than when a song or a book or anything has a first grabs the eye or grabs the listener. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. That's what I think. Okay, we have one question from Extra Pale Pat. Do you think the Big Cat Public Safety Act will run businesses models forever? And do you think he's the last of the major cub petting scams in America?
And they said, who, Doc?
Doc, I think.
Yeah. Currently, Doc Antle, he's one of the people in Tiger King. He was the one that they said had all of the girlfriends. And yeah, he's currently under indictment by the state of Virginia for some illegal trafficking and animal abuse charges that they've brought. And so I don't know whether or not he's going to be able to continue operating after that goes to trial. And he had his first hearing just a few days ago, and he was trying to get the judge to recuse themselves, saying that the judge cared too much about animal rights issues, and he lost on that. So I'm really hoping, since he lost to somebody who apparently cares about animal rights issues, that it means that he will lose in the big court when it comes time.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so that would be great. But the bill that we're putting out there, I mean, it just stops the cub petting and the private ownership, so he wouldn't be allowed to do cub petting. But he does a big show there where he takes big cats out and has them chase a lure around in a cage and that kind of thing. So he could continue to do that. There's nothing illegal about that. And
Right.
the only thing is, I don't think he can do that with cats once they get to be adults. They might look like they're adults when they're a year or two old, because they can be 400 or 500 pounds, but they're just kittens at that time. And so that's why they get away with doing the stupid things they do, like petting them and kissing them and playing with them and walking them on leashes and swimming with them. So if he was not allowed to keep constantly breeding these cubs for the cub petting trade, then he won't have cats to be able to use for those purposes, and that may be an end to that kind of activity.
Oh my gosh. That's a lot. Oh. Okay. Well, on a happier note, if you guys are logging in right now, we're talking about Disco Gurl. And we're talking about big cat rescues and passing this awesome bill that's going on. I'm going to answer like one more question, guys, and then Carole and I are going to have to disco on out. But let's wait for one more question, and then that's it. How was your week so far, though? Might as well ask.
Well, this past week I had a hurricane, so my next week's probably not going to be that bad.
Yeah.
Although it is hurricane season, so they hit kind of frequently sometimes.
Okay. Hi. Give a shout out and
To Holly Johnson and Haley and
hi, Holly. Hi, Amber. No, I'm not. No. Some of these questions. I give all the.
So if you guys want to hear the song, go over to YouTube and check for Iriz May, and I think it's the first one up. You don't have very many on your YouTube channel. You only have like 5 or 6 songs. So
No, because I went through. I had a lot more, but I chose my best art one that like really shows who I am as an artist and my growth. So that's kind of why. I actually, fun fact, I have a song that I shot. Excuse me. Maybe like 2 years ago. I don't know if you've ever seen The Politician. That's a really fun show that's out right now. Theo, the one who is trans, he is in my music video and super cool. He's my boyfriend, and I call him my 80s boyfriend. Every time I see him out, I'm like, oh my God, there's my 80s boyfriend. So that's kind of fun. Okay, wait, let's see. No. One more question, guys. One more. I'm trying to think of like a fun question. I mean, do you have one?
fun question.
No. Looking.
Yeah, I can't. Well, it's not really a question. I just can't imagine your energy level, because you're working full time doing all of this stuff with hair and style, and then you're like this performing artist. And I know you talk about going to some of these clubs, and you reach out to me at night, and I'm like, it's past my bedtime, girlfriend. I can't do this right now.
I'm like, hey, they're playing our song. It's like 1 o'clock in the morning. Here you go.
Who's your celebrity crush?
Ooh.
That's a good one to end on.
Who's yours?
Wow.
Okay, who's your first celebrity crush, and who's your like celebrity crush now? That's a great question.
Sean Connery.
Mine was probably like, okay, so Sugar Ray. I don't know if you know Sugar Ray. They were a band back in like the day, and they were in. You're gonna laugh. Like this is like the shows that. This is like early 2000s. They were in like a Scooby Doo movie. I know you guys are gonna think I'm crazy. And I had the biggest crush on the guy. He sings "Fly," the one that goes. Oh God. Hold on. I should know it. It goes. I see the people away, gone out the window. I think you know that one. That's a good one. I mean, I had a crush on him more like Brad Pitt, but like now I think I have a crush on Superman, the new Superman, Henry. What's his name?
I haven't seen that.
Oh, I'm gonna have to send you a picture of him. He like has black hair, very distinct jawline. His name's Henry something, and he's British, and he's just like my husband. Okay, your turn.
My first was Sean Connery, and I got drunk for the first time ever watching a Sean Connery 007 film, I think. And I was babysitting, and I was just a teenager, and the kids there told me that the stuff in the refrigerator was, I forget what they told me it was, but they didn't tell me it was alcohol. It turned out to be sangria, and I had never had sangria before. And so me and the two kids, we finished that pitcher of sangria that night. And we were all three just absolutely drunk. But Sean Connery came out of that as my first crush.
Oh my God. Okay, Sean Connery, I'm not gonna lie, he was not the best in Mamma Mia. I'm sorry, cannot sing, but he's a great actor. He's a great actor. Sorry.
I've never heard him sing. I didn't know that was anything he ever tried to do.
Mamma Mia. Yeah, Sean, 007, right? Yeah, he's not bad looking. My mom has a crush on the new 007.
Really?
The British one, he's hot. He's bad. Okay, there was one thing that I wanted to do because this girl said it's her 8th birthday, and I thought that was really cute. She said, "Can you shout out happy 8th birthday to Amber?"
Well, happy birthday.
Yeah, I just wanted to say that because I thought that was really cute. Oh, okay, well, that was a great ending question. That's all for today, kids.
This was fun. Thank you.
This was so fun. We're going to have to do this, like, again sometime. I'll set something up with you again or something fun. But just so you know, Disco Gurl, Carole Baskin, it's out. And if you want to talk about Big Cat really quick, and then we'll log on out.
We're on all your social sites as Big Cat Rescue.
All right. Love you guys.
Love you. Bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you, Carole.
Mwah.